Try and tuck up underneath Ian, and I managed to hold Dan off on the outside. Just squeezed past him, so that was really good. Okay, welcome to Heat 3. So in this heat, I was now third on the grid, and I could see Dan's on the outside. I was just going to try and tuck up underneath Ian, and I managed to hold Dan off on the outside. Just squeezed past him, so that was really good. So I'm thinking, great, this is exactly where I wanted to be. Just see if I can stay up with Ian. That's my main issue here. Got Dan behind, David Wood, and then Dylan. Dylan is up in fifth. And this is Dylan's first time to this circuit, so I think he's doing a really, really good job. Because everybody else in this front pack has done probably many, many, many laps here. So Ian is the guy that everybody wants to catch. And I felt like in this race, I lowered the tyre pressures because in Heat 2, I was a little bit too... My pressures were a little bit too high. So I lowered the pressures for this heat, and I actually felt like it was a fair bit quicker. And my lap times were actually about 0.3 faster. My best lap was about 0.3 faster than I did in Heat 2. So I was really happy with the setup here. I try not to change too much on the setup because I think I can probably gain more out of the driving than changing too many things. But I was pretty happy with how it was. And you can just see Ian's just eking out because he gets away a little bit coming out of that corner next to the pits. And then by the end of the straight, I'm just somehow not, even with the straight line speed, just still haven't quite got enough on him. But it's reasonable. So I'm just trying to think, where can I gain some time on him? But I'm probably just going to have to reside to the fact that I need to get a little bit quicker to catch Ian because he's really the master. He's been racing for a long time. But anyway, I just need to get a little bit quicker to catch him. And you can see behind me that they're actually distancing themselves a bit from me, so this is good. I'm feeling like I'm able to pull out on those guys behind me now, which is really good because I've been racing David and Dan quite a lot the last couple of months at this circuit. So it's good to actually get a little bit of space. So I'm in a little bit in no man's land here. I can't quite catch Ian, but I'm eking out a little bit of space away from David. Oh no, it's Dan behind me. Dan and David. I noticed in this corner here, I feel like this is my worst corner right here, where it just struggles a little bit with the extra weight coming out of that corner. But also, I feel like maybe I'm not being aggressive enough with the curb on the previous corner. Coming through here, that was a really nice one. That was really flat out. And another thing I'm trying to work on is to try to brake a little bit deeper into this corner here. On the camera, it actually looks like I'm braking quite early, but when you're in the kart, it feels a little scary to brake super late. But I think I can probably brake a little bit later. Just a few tenths is all I need. And you can just see Ian is he's just eking out a little bit each lap. Oh, there we go. So I understeered quite a bit there. And through these flat out corners, it's really just trying to keep it as steady as possible. This flat out corner here is extremely difficult because the kart wants to jump over the bump and slide. This corner in here, the first corner, is really, really fun to do because there's so much grip on the outside, so you can really push it really hard. And this flat-out left-hander is also really interesting because it's pretty easy to go through there, but you don't know how hard you can push. Because if you go too far, you're going to be off the circuit for sure. And through here, it's all just about feathering the throttle and not pushing it too hard and keeping it nice and tidy. That was a little bit better there. I think I need to probably be a little bit more careful to try to not slide too much and keep the throttle on as much as possible. And you just see, what have we got? 2 laps to go. Ian is just becoming a little bit smaller. not only is he super fast, but he's also incredibly consistent. So he's not really making a lot of mistakes out there. And I felt like in this race, I didn't make that many mistakes either, which is probably why the guys behind me are kind of disappearing. But nevertheless, yeah, still need to gain a few tenths. And you can just see he's just coming out of that corner now as I come into here, so every lap he seems to be a little bit further away. And I think I've probably even got an equal gap behind me. So I think I'm probably about 3 seconds behind him, and they're probably about 3 seconds behind me. I really missed that first apex intentionally because it's a lot of grip on the outside, and then just try to get the second apex into here. Try to keep the power up. Try to brake in early for this bit going up the hill, just so that I don't slide out on the curb or the exit. And then into here, it's really just about keeping it very sensitive and keeping the throttle on as much as possible. There we go. I think I actually... Oh, he had to overtake a back marker there, but I actually... No, sorry, it's the guy from medium. Yeah, I actually kept pace with him that time, which was nice. And I think this is going to be... Is this the last lap? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, that's the last lap. So I think that was actually my best race so far, because my best lap here was a 45.1, which is my best in Masters that I've had. So I was pretty happy with that performance.